Welcome, Exos family, to a 5-minute mindset practice. Coach Gigi here with you today. And we are going to talk about making those darn little habits stick. So we all have different goals, whether they be fitness, nutrition, just lifestyle in general. But with those goals come habits, right? Our habits make up our lifestyle, no matter how big or small. What we do on a day-to-day basis, even hour-by-hour basis, makes up our current lifestyle. So when we have these goals and we're trying to implement some lifestyle changes, we start with our big goal and then we kind of work our way down. Okay, how are we going to reach that? Create a step-by-step process. And then the hard part is just getting down to it, right? We figured out what we need to do. Now we actually have to do it. It's way easier said than done. So today we're just going to talk about how to make that process just a little bit easier, make it a little bit more sustainable so that you can reach those goals faster and more efficiently. So my first recommendation is to just pick one habit. A lot of times we get super gung-ho, we want to do all the things at once and just get everything going, hit the ground running, and get started super fast. But what happens when we try and focus on 5 different habits is our energy kind of gets dispersed and often unevenly. So instead of really focusing all of our energy on starting on one specific habit, we try and multitask and get all of these things done. As many of you probably know, we're not best multitaskers as humans. So this process often leads us to not getting anything done, and then we start getting a little bit discouraged because we feel like we haven't done anything, and then the consistency falls through, and then we feel like we end up 2 steps behind where we started. So first piece of advice, only pick one thing. List out any habits that you feel like implementing, and then look at the habit that you think is either going to be the easiest for you to achieve, minimal effort on your part, or you're the most excited about. It could be one of these things, it could be both of them, but if you're super excited about it, it's going to be a lot easier for you to stay consistent with it because you're actually thinking about it regularly. And then the easier it is to stay consistent with it, the easier it's going to be to implement it into a sustainable habit, right? So the goal here is to implement these changes to the point where we don't even have to think about them, they just become habitual. My next piece of advice is once you've figured out that first habit that you would like to work on, I want you to create a habit tracker. I know this might be backwards, but the idea is the same. So you can draw it out like I did, or there's plenty of different templates online, or just an app that you can use as well. There's tons of free apps that you can use to track your habits. But essentially what I did here was I chose my first habit. I wanted to work on 15 minutes of French every day with my app that I have. And then, just like our little chore charts we had when we were kids, we get to give each other a nice little gold star or an X when we've completed it. So you have that like visual motivation, say, I did this every single day for an entire week, and just to kind of keep your morale up as well. Give yourselves a pat on the back, get your gold star. Once you've done that habit for 2 full weeks, I want you to reassess with yourself. So if you missed 1 in 1 week, totally fine. If you missed 2 though, that's where the consistency will start to fall off. And again, this all comes down to consistency. How consistent can we be with these new changes? So if you feel like you didn't do so well in those first 2 weeks, just do it again for a 3rd week. Try and get every single day, really hit the mark on that 3rd week. After that 3rd week, then you can kind of reassess. If those first 2 weeks you were a total rock star and you did everything every single day, then what you can do is revisit that list of habits and just pick the next one that you want to start on. So I'm going to try and run 3 miles 2 times a week. I did my 3 miles yesterday. I'm going to try and do it 1 other time this week and get my X in there, right? So again, it all comes down to consistency. Some people are very visual. Some people like that pat on the back from themselves or from an app. So apps are really great at sending you reminders if you like, and then that way it just becomes habitual for you. Again, bottom line here, all comes down to consistency. So pick what you're excited about. Pick what you can do most consistently and then actually implement those changes. It's going to be really hard, especially for the first 2 weeks. But if you can really work hard and get those habits down consistently for those first 2 weeks, it will only get easier and easier. It'll just start to become a part of your daily routine. I hope this all helped you. Thank you all so much for joining me. Again, my name is Coach Gigi. Don't forget to check out exosathome.com for all of your mindset, movement, nutrition, and recovery tools. Thank you, Annette. I hope you all have a beautiful rest of your day. I'll see you next week.